Hello, and welcome to my Necromancer guide, and how I play, me personally. You don't have to really copy it, but if you want to, it's cool. Um, it's kind of unique from other people's and how they slot their hotkeys and etc. So let's get started. All right, so for this the first part, we are running the compose. We're not having this in our hotkey at all because we're not rocking any essence regen. I just don't find it necessary because we're not. The only thing that uses essence is Decrepify, and that only costs 10, and it's not really that much. So you're not really gonna be running out mana that easily, or rarely at all. So there's also this passive which helps generates lots of corpse. It helps just that 12% chance to generate is still pretty good, especially with this build that we got going on with insane attack speed. You're gonna be generating corpse, and our lucky hit chance sitting at 12% is pretty decent. I used to have 6% just from the gloves by itself, um, and then I rolled one of my rings into a lucky hit chance, which put it up to 12%. Honestly, 6 is still fine. It is on the lowest roll, and you're just completely fine with that. It procs very often anyway. So next we're going to talk about Blood Mist. Blood Mist is very essential. This thing saves lives. This gets you out of a tough situation. Like, let's say you get walled out and you're just trapped between a rock and a hard place. All the minions and elites are just right on top of you, which they shouldn't be reaching you unless maybe they're a teleporter and they just blink right on top of you. This will get you out of such tight situations. This is like a must-have. And we got the skeleton passes for more damage, more life. Carp explosions combined with the two passives, making it into a shadow and bigger radius is super nice. This is like the ability that we're gonna spam the most, right? And then Decrepify reduces damage for your minions and yourself by making them weaker, making them do less damage, slow them. There's a chance to stun with a 10% chance, or I guess 12% with our lucky chance, which then applies, I think, another RNG. I'm not really sure. I didn't really look it up. So I don't see it stunning very often anyways. I don't really rely on the stun. I rely mostly on just the cooldown reduction that you get from this. Having your minions swing every hit, there's a chance that we can reduce all your cooldowns by 1 second. I know our cooldowns ain't really long. Like, our longest basic one is like 20 and our ultimate is 62, but still, it's mostly aimed for this to reduce your ultimate cooldown, because this keeps your team alive, and I'll explain this all later. Anyways, we have one of our passives. Every time you consume a corpse, which you're gonna be consuming like all the time, this will keep you shielded, keep you extra health, extra healthy. You're gonna, with this, you're going to sustain hits, at least from what I've experienced. Like, there's times where I should have been one-shotted, which usually happens, but with this, it kept me alive. Then you have all the basic shadow moves, speed, more damage, or stun, I meant. And with the lucky hit that we're rocking, this has a really good chance of stunning people or enemies. We have all the passes for minions, which is very good, all this, and then you have the Shadow Blight key. Now you might be wondering why I'm running standalone. Like, you're running a minion build. That doesn't make sense. The damage reduction doesn't work with all your active minions. Now there's gonna be times where your minions are all gonna die. Let's say because I don't know, like, well, one of the main reasons that my army usually gets wiped by is the electricity towers, or like the AoE flames where they just come out of the elites in all different directions. They usually wipe out my army. Or when I'm not usually, as long as you're constantly healing them with your raised skeleton, because this thing is really good. Like, you just raise one time, 4 seconds later, they get big chunks of health, 60% of their HP coming back to them. It's insane, and especially since they don't really die that easily with this thing right here. It takes more about 3 to 4 hits of big giant hits to kill them, right? They're not gonna die that easily with that, especially with all the stats that we're running too. So that thing keeps them alive. Now, back to the standalone. Standalone, we're running damage reduction. All right, right now we're currently running at 0%. Right here. So we're not running. Well, we have damage reduction for dots and all this stuff, but it's not flat. We don't have any flat damage reduction. What this does, let's say your minions go in there, they die, because like there's gonna be times where you're just kiting, and like there's just so much things flying your way that you don't get the chance to heal your minions or pop land of the day or anything. You're too busy staying alive that you don't get a chance to keep them alive. And this was when it happened. All right, so your minions reapers die, like say they get clapped off, boom, they die. You get that 4% damage reduction, which is, you know, kind of small, you know, but it's still some damage reduction. Now let's say your mage minions die, which they're more squishy, right? They're gonna probably die really quick without your front line being there. So they get clapped off, boom. Now you're sitting at 16% damage reduction. That's pretty good. Honestly, it's really good. Alright, now let's get to the items I'm running. Now there's some flexibility that you can use for your items. We're rocking Skeleton Warriors. This is our army build, right? We want massive amount of minions. We want to be a one-man, well, a walking army, should I say. And this increases the max capacity of your Skeleton Warriors, which is really nice. You got the cooldown reductions, which is nice intel. The other stats could be better, right? Obviously, but I'm just rocking it because it's the only thing I really have. I don't really care too much about the rest. The cooldown reduction is the big plus for me. I like the cooldown. Reducing the ultimate from 70 to 62 is really good. We're rocking this chest piece mainly for the maximum mini health, which was pretty a high roll, and then it has some nice side stats, so it's really good. The barrier is pretty nice. You don't really need this. You can probably rock something like this, for example. This one is a max roll. This is a low level. It could be better. It could be up to 100%, I believe, if you get the blue version of this, which is the essentials. This will keep you alive too. I'm not sure why I'm not running it. I can easily replace like the boost or something. This is a core item. You must. It's not really a core. You don't really need it like that, but it just helps aiming so much better. Like, imagine if there's an enemy like over here or somewhere. Just think you would just go after it and just blow up on them. It's just so much better in comparison to, like, let's say you're in it, wearing it, and like there's an enemy right here. You can't really move this corpse. It's just gonna stay there, right? It's not gonna aim for enemies. You're just gonna hope that some random mob will go into this area. I mean, obviously, if you go into like a corridor or something, they're gonna be walking a straight line. They're gonna most likely run into it. But just having this ghost, it's just super nice. It's just, you don't have to aim, and there's gonna be black smoke everywhere, so pretty nice. There's the damage reduction here, keeping us alive, and then more minion health. The more minion health, the more chance of them living. And then the damage reductions. The damage reduction is pretty nice when you don't have Army of Death active. This will keep them alive a little bit longer. You don't really need it if you're going to have Army of Death all the time up. But sometimes you don't get lucky enough. Sometimes that 15 or 12% lucky chance doesn't proc, and you're just gonna sit there with a long cooldown. So this thing can help, but you can replace this for something else or something that you would like. Same thing with the boots. Honestly, no, actually maybe the boots are kind of necessary because they help with the gold mages, which allows them to put vulnerability if they freeze the enemy targets, which is really nice because I used to run Golem, which gave AoE stun and gave them vulnerability, which that 20% increased damage is really nice. But then there's been a lot of times where the Golem isn't really smart sometimes. It takes some time to travel to the spot that you're trying to aim for. And I mean, it's nice, 10 seconds is cool, but I think the taunt here is really just better because it's just a huge radius, huge taunt. It taunts even bosses and elites. It keeps the aggro on him and keeping your team alive. Your friends, is gonna love you for having this taunt. It keeps them alive, especially if they squishy boys. Alright, squishy boys. Anyways, so that is that. The amulet, more mages. You can honestly switch these two around. If you want more corpse, you can put more melee for more frontline. If you want more mages, vice versa, whatever you like. Honestly, I would have done the melee, but I don't really like the uneven number, the 6-6. That's the only reason why I'm running mages on that slot. But I probably would have done more melee units instead. But that's just, you know, preference. Then we have Shadow Blight key passive. This is really nice. It's just straight up more damage overall. I don't have a high roll on it. Well, it's kind of high, but could have been better. Then there's increased damage while your skeletons are alive. Your skeletons shouldn't be dying, so this thing should always be up at all times. Last but not least, the most important part, in my opinion, of the build is having the Army of Dead on the weapon slot. Having that 140% attack speed is so nice. You're gonna constantly be proccing this cooldown reduction, and then when that happens, you're gonna be proccing Army of Dead quite often, and they will not die, especially with that 180% damage reduction. That's huge. This is the reason why your minions won't die as easily, unless you just like foolishly like run around the whole map and grab like 10 different elites and have them all stacked up with their giant AoEs. Your minions might not survive. But if you're just taking like a couple at a time like a normal person, or I guess you don't have to be normal to do it, but your army should be alive at most times from my experience. Anyways, so there's that. Then we got the Paragon stuff. The Paragon stuff is pretty much the same stuff that everyone runs. Everyone likes running Dead Razor. Dead Razor is just such a great stat. Such a great glyph. Keeps, everything about it just good. Kind of self-explanatory. Then you have control, because we like to spam slows. The Decrepify slows more damage. And then with the Ice Mage minions, there's a chance to freeze them / chill. That's even more damage for your minions. So this is just really good overall. There's other stuff you can potentially use, but I haven't really seen anything that I would like. Maybe you want to put more damage to your melee minions or something, but not the golem. I don't think the golems hit that hard. The golem live longer, but I mean, you can make them live longer if you really want. They are pretty much another, like a player in your party. They're just really tanky, so you can potentially do that for your build. Now, I have tried other uniques. I have tried other types of builds that kind of play around the unique. Like I've tried this. I'm not sure how strong Dorn is on a Necromancer. You can potentially make it work, especially if you can roll to stats that give your minions inherits your Dorns by like 5% plus. I think you could potentially make a build with that, but for now I just haven't really tried. I tried to wear it. It doesn't seem like it does anything, because you're not really there to get hit. You're really there to hide. There's no potential with that. I had the Bloodless Scream for quite a bit of time, since 59. Pretty nice. It was a really cool early game item, but like the reason I swapped off, so this item was cool. I was using before I wasn't using any core. I was using before I was using this to help my mana regen and severe. Yeah, this was one of my main damage items, but the problem was I kept running out of essence. Now obviously you can use corpse explosions and get your essence with the Grim Harvest, which is cool. They nerfed it. It used to be 9 when max level, now it's 6. It's not really a big deal of a nerf. It's actually a pretty good nerf, in my opinion, at least a balanced nerf. But you would use this like maybe 4 or 5 times at most, and then you run out of essence, and then you would just pop corpses to get your essence back, and then you go back to auto tagging. The problem I saw with this is the fact that you have to stand still to swing with that. Now, obviously, they might be stunned with all the shadow shit that we got going on, or the chill stuff, and it's cool. But like, I don't really want to stand still very much, especially in the higher tiers, where everything can one shot you. You'd rather just be moving constantly, and that's why I don't really run any auto attacks. Only thing I do is debuffs and buff my team, and then keep moving and keep constantly avoiding damage as much as possible, and then spam Corpse Explosion because that thing's just really good. The only problem is team play. Well, it's fun to have friends. It's fun to play with friends, but this thing can cuck your friends and yourself at times because it puts that floor all really dark and you can't really see like any of the AoEs that the enemies throw out, and your friends might die. And we were fighting the boss at one point, and my circles were kind of blocking their view and they couldn't see, but then they knew that this is one of my main damages. Like, they can't really complain about it, and I can't really do anything about it until like maybe they fix it visually or give us an option to see our enemies or abilities through the smoke. As far as I can tell, it's just gonna be like that. Anyways, Bloodless Scream's pretty cool. Having your darkness skills constantly chill and then constantly have a chance to get more CC, it's cool. I like it. The only problem was I didn't really like the damage that I was getting. The two-handed sword was just giving me way more damage overall. I know that the item power is pretty different, like right here. This was not maxed out, but it can possibly be the same damage power as my two-handed sword. But I just like the overall stats that he gave. The damage was damage against slow enemies, damage against crowded control, which is slows. Another way of slow, I believe, hopefully. Ultimate damage, because we're always going to be spamming our ultimate. And then the flat intel, which I might reroll again into something else, but we'll see. I mean, oh shit, that's a max roll too. I just realized that. Anyways, there's that. Bloodless Scream, I mean, it's cool. Extra damage. Well, think about this though. The problem is you can't be chilling them all the time. So this chill is kind of obvious. It's gonna be always be there. It's always gonna be doing damage. The damage darkness skill is always gonna be there. The frozen part, on the other hand, not always gonna be there. It's like 10, 15, 20% of the time you'll see your enemies frozen, and then you get that extra bonus for damage. But most of the time they're not gonna be frozen. So I want something that's more consistent, that's always going to be doing something, and having that two-handed sword with all these substats is just so much better. And the cold resist, I don't really need it. Like, you're not gonna get hit by the icy move that much. So, and then on top of that, the generator, when you do generate, which is like, let's say the enemies are gonna be frozen 20% of the time, and then you only generate like 3. I mean, I have one that generates a max, which is 5, which is still not a lot. If you're using like the abilities that I was running from previous time, it uses 20 mana. It's a lot. You don't really refund that much. You refund a really small amount. So there's that. You can't really switch the glows unless you don't want to run those ghost ones, which is looking really cool. It makes your army look bigger. So honestly, I recommend this. If you can try to get this job, go for it. There's not really an ice build, not much you can do with that. This is something kind of cool. I mean, gives you more chill. The only problem is I don't really like the substats that much, so I'm not really a huge fan of this boot. I like the current boots I'm running, but it's not ancestral. But I feel like as a necromancer that has very low mobility, unless you're running movement speed stats like this or this, having the 3 extra charges is super nice. Being able to constantly dodge and like getting out of tight situation, this is a must-have in my personal opinion. It just makes you so mobile. Like, you're just really mobile with that. Keeps you going, you know. And then the rest is just like whatever, you know. It's not really a big deal. Like those gems, you can put whatever you want, really. I put HP for more sustainability. Keeps me alive personally. And I put lightning resist because the reason behind that is the lightning stuff, they be coming out pretty fast. Like, it's kind of hard to avoid getting hit by lightning, if anything. I mean, you can avoid most of it, but there's gonna be a lot of times where they come out really quick and you just can't avoid it. So this helps me a lot in survivability, and then more damage over time with the purple gem. But that's how I've always been playing Dankrel. I hope you guys like it. If you do, let me know how you guys think about it and what I could possibly do to make it better. Or tell me how you would have played it and how would you done your playstyle. I would like to know. Anyways, hopefully you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Peace.